Okay, so I'm going to go through how to create and edit posts. I'm looking at this post that you did for this poem, and let's go into the dashboard. And so it's actually a fairly simple fix, which I did already make the change, but I'm going to run through it again. I had a problem with the video. So let's go to posts, go to all posts. And I made a copy, but we're going to go into this one, and let's go to edit, or you can click on the title and it'll open it up. Okay, this is showing in, right now it's showing in code view. We'll just click on exit code editor, and so I just want to explain what we have here is in the WordPress Editor. We have these areas for content, and you can see a little toolbar pops up here, and you see how you get this perimeter line around the text. So this is what's called a block. Okay, so WordPress uses these blocks, and actually the programming is based on an application called Gutenberg, which is a plugin to WordPress. So there are various types of Gutenberg blocks. By default, when you input text or images or whatever type of content, when you add a block, which you can do initially by just clicking in, when you come into a new post, you basically have a kind of a blank slate, and the first thing you do is you click in and you can type in your title. Then when you click below the title, it automatically creates a paragraph block, and you can see right here, this shows you the type of block that it is. And there's a paragraph icon. And you have these other editing tools. We can get into that stuff a little bit later. Underneath this block, you'll see this plus symbol shows up, add block. So then you can click and add another block. And you can see that what you have right now are all these separate paragraph blocks, right? So with poetry or lyrics, song, you have to use a different type of block. Now the good thing is, which I had forgotten about, I thought you would have to like copy all the content out, put it into a Word document, and then recreate the blocks. But no, you can just change the type of block. Change, see if I roll over this icon, paragraph icon, change block, type, or style. So what you want to do is click on that, and right here we have the verse block, and that shows you the preview over here to the right. That shows you what it's going to look like. So now we're going to change that to verse. Okay, and we'll go down to the next one, and we'll change transform to verse. And go to the next one, transform to verse. And let's go to this one. Same thing, transform to verse. Transform to verse. Transform to verse. Okay, now let's save as pending. There is an autosave set up already, so usually you won't lose your work, but oh, it already did it before you even had a chance, so it must be doing like every minute or so. So that is saved. This particular one, that could stay as paragraph because it's just one line. It's not really going to be formatted incorrectly. Okay. So you could also do other things, stylizing, like it shows you right here. It's already stylized as italic, but you can make that bold if you wanted to. You could underline, very much like Word. You can change the text alignment. You could make that a link if you wanted to. Those are the main tools. And over here we have options if you want to duplicate a block. Most of the stuff you won't really get into yet. But that was the main thing right there. All you need to do is change the block type to verse. So you can try this with, if you have another piece of poetry, you want to test out another one, go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead and preview it now, because it should show in the front end the way that I just displayed it to you. So let's check it out. Actually, we'll click on Publish. Oh no, you know what? Let's just do Preview first. And we're going to preview it as Desktop and preview a new tab. You could also preview it for tablet and mobile if you wanted to. And hopefully it does it correctly. And yes, okay, it does. You can see it also did some formatting on the background there. So put each verse. So there must be some built-in. I actually haven't worked with verses at all. There must be some built-in formatting on that, because you would possibly want to change that, or maybe you don't want that background in there. Have to do a little bit more checking. But let's see what else we can do with this post now. So now it is in the proper verse format, right? What looks kind of weird, and you know, a lot of stuff that you can change based upon what type of page or post it is. Maybe you want to format it differently. A lot of articles, you're going to want to keep the sidebar in here. That way the reader can find other links to navigate, but also they'll be able to see like ads that you have, or subscription or newsletter sign-ups. So it's good to keep that that sidebar active. Now you might not want to have a sidebar on this page, but then this formatting looks kind of weird, right? So there's a few things that we can do with that. So let's go back. Let's see. Okay, remember it previewed this this post. We previewed it in a separate tab. So here's the preview tab. I'm going to go back. This will be the tab for the post. Okay. So remember, previewing a new tab. So again, this one is the preview tab. This is the edit tab. So now I'm going to get into some other stylizing. And the theme that we're using is Votsee. And so this is the icon for Votsee. And this has the page settings in it. So where we can get kind of deeper into the stylization of the page. Okay. So I'm going to click on that guy. Now this is showing the Votsee child page settings. It may get a little confusing. This is actually a post versus what is normally called a page, although this post is displayed on a web page, but in this case we call it a post. This tab shows the settings for post title. We're using inherent settings, which are basically set up so that all posts will display in this format, where, yeah, the title is white, but the reason is because we have on a global setting to have a featured image load behind the title. So we're going to set that up right now. So let's go back into our settings. So I just got out of that post title tab. Let's go to our post structure. Okay, this shows you right now that this type of post page is defaulting to use this normal width style of display for the front end. So you can see right here, you'll have a header, then you're going to have this image area, and then the post comes in below that. Okay, and this is a normal width page. What we're seeing here is a left sidebar, and this one is for a right sidebar. This is for a narrow width. Okay, and we can go ahead and look at what each one of those looks like. Let's actually look at what narrow width would look like if we preview that. So there goes autosave again. So go back here to our preview tab page and just refresh it. And let's see. Well, it doesn't look like it refreshed. Sometimes you might have to do a few refreshes on here. Let's see if we can clear this cache. Come on. Caching is enable. I'm going to get out of this because I don't know what that is. Let's see. Let's see if I can solve this issue. I'm going to pause this. Okay, I got it to update to display as a narrow page. This looks a lot better, right? I mean, the formatting's still kind of weird because I'm kind of empty over here. And what I did was I went back to our edit page and I actually clicked on save. Save as pending. I guess the autosave didn't really do it, but that's all I did. And then I refreshed, and it came up now with this narrow page view. It looks cooler. You know, it's not perfect yet, but let's see what else we can do. So, and we have these other views, but let's go. Let's see. Do we have here? Oh yeah, okay. So let's click on that design tab. And what do we got? What I'm looking for, I'm trying to refresh my memory. We're going to load a featured image, so it'll pop in here behind this title. Okay, so you have to switch out of the Votsee child page settings. Come back to settings, just the regular settings. Right now it's previewing the tabs for the block, and now let's just go to post. And what we want to look at here is featured image. Okay, Click on Set Featured Image, and now we can select. You can either upload, or you can just go to the library. I'm just going to go and grab one of these images that are already in the library. So, okay, let's just take this one. And normally you would want to put alt text, title, description, possibly a caption for SEO purposes. Click on Set Featured Image. And let's save as pending. And remember, I already have a preview tab. So let's just save it, show the check mark. Come back to this preview tab and refresh. And there we go. So the way it's set up is by default. It's going to show you a tightly cropped and stretched or enlarged version of that featured image. There's like an overlay color to help this white title to pop out more, because depending upon what the colors are in each article's image, the actual photo might have to be darker to help display the white type better, so that's why there's an overlay color. When you scroll down, you'll see that entire featured image once again. Okay. Then you get, obviously, if you have advertising set on that page, and I can go over that, then you're going to see your banner pop in there. And here's our subtitle, and then we have our verses. Okay. So that's how that works. Now these title backgrounds can be changed. You know, if you don't want to have such a tall background image, you can adjust the height of this. It's not going to change this image here, but this is kind of a standard format that's currently trending, is this type of style of having this big sort of article header image in the background, and then the subsequent complete image. And we can do more with this. So let's go back to edit. So let's see. So maybe you want to have maybe you want an image in between these verses, right? So we can go here to add block, and then you'll see it says search for a block. So let's type in image. Okay, so we want an image box. We'll just use this standard one, which is just this black line drawing for image. Okay, and again, we can just go to the media library, and we can select another image. So this kind of shows you how far you can go with the layout and design. Alright, and we'll save that. And maybe you want another one, maybe you want one down here. And click in there, and you should see, there we go. So when you just roll around the middle of this area, get another block, a little image, and again, let's see. There we go. Select that guy. And there's another image. Now this one was wider. So do we want to make this bigger? Yeah, we can just go and stretch it over there. Okay, cool. Let's save it as pending. And then go back to the preview tab. We'll wait to see. Okay, it's saved. Come back here and refresh it. Okay. There you go. There's an image. And there's another image. Okay. So, let's see. So, do we want a narrow page? Don't know. It really depends on, I would say, based upon the type of post, you should try to keep the same kind of formatting for whatever type of post or page it is, so that you're not getting too chaotic with the format that your reader is dealing with. If they go into various articles and your page layout keeps changing, it's going to seem really inconsistent and chaotic. Doesn't really keep a good flow going. So, not that you can't change your layout, but you want to have consistency. So let's see what it would be like coming back into the edit tab. Let's go back over here. We want to change our page layout. So let's go back to child page settings. And remember, this is on narrow width, so let's go to the right sidebar. That's what we're using for other pages, so just to kind of be consistent in formatting, I'm going to switch it over to that style. I think it's going to work better for this type of a post. So that's saved. Come back here and refresh, and then see what's going on. Okay, so now we've got our post. So we have our sidebar. So we can still direct the reader to look at other stuff. I just wanted to mention something. You had asked about what a sticky post was, and so this isn't necessarily a sticky post, but if you see this ad here, you'll notice as I'm scrolling this post that this ad is locked in position, right? See how the sidebar isn't scrolling? So someone that advertises in this position, they get more exposure, not just that they're at the top of the page, but also that as I'm scrolling, their ad is still visible. Okay? And we can set a certain amount of pixels where it'll still stay sticky. And at some point you're going to see now it just started moving. So it went down like maybe half the page. I don't know if it's like, I don't remember if it's by pixel or by like percentage of page, but you can see where that scroller is. It's about halfway down. So that's how long this particular reader was exposed to that ad. So they really get good exposure with that type of placement because it's visible for all this time. So depending upon what they're reading, as they're scrolling down, they're still going to see that ad. And then when you get farther down, then obviously you got this ad. But this will not be sticky. Now, it may be, I don't know, I haven't tried to have like, what if you had another ad right underneath this one? Would they both stay sticky? I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into that, but I just thought I was noticing this right now and how cool that is. That stays locked in position or stuck for quite a while. Anyhow, that shows you how to format. And this text was set for your standard font size, which is at, let's come back here to our general settings and post, let's see, block. Yeah, okay, so our normal font size is 16 point. If you wanted to go larger, I guess you could maybe, you know, it's not like your standard article, it's a poem, so it's kind of different to the reader. But most common for most websites is a font size of 16 for body copy, or I think LA Times was using 17. But there's a lot of research that goes behind that, so you usually want to follow that sort of format. But again, you could change that by just coming over here. You can go to medium and it updates it. It does that entire block. Okay, so you can see this block here is still 16. This one's 20. Go back here and change it to normal. And it's going to keep the standard font that is set up for all body copy. So globally, throughout the whole website, it's using a font called Votsee. And that was included with the style sheet that I had sent to you initially that had the colors and font sizes and all that laid out before I did the design and the layout. So that's how that works. We're coming up on 28 minutes now. So yeah, you could go back in and play around. I'm going to see, maybe I can look at how we can change this background. Maybe you don't want to have that in there. Before I get into that, let's just look at the post again. And let's see, back in the page settings, let's come back here to just the general settings and then go to post. Now it's just going to show you here how memberships work. So you can see the various plans here. So you could set if this post requires a membership in order to be viewed. And if you wanted like a particular post to be restricted to a certain membership plan, you can put a check mark in the box. Now you notice there's an asterisk after these 3 different plans, and it refers here to this footnote. This post is already protected for this level because it is within a category that requires membership. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, what's going on there is that it's within a category that requires membership. So these membership plans already have, they've already been set up to have restricted categories. And I'll go over to another tab to show you that. You come over here to memberships and go to settings. And then, let's see, so by default it goes to the levels section. So let's see, let's look at this paid plan. Go into edit and scroll down past these other items here. Here we go. Content settings. Non-members will see the title and excerpt for posts in these categories. You can update this setting here. So if you wanted to change what the non-members are going to see, then you would click this setting. But here are the categories. Okay. Again, I haven't changed that to section yet. I'll have to go through that a little bit later to explain what's up. It won't be a big deal to change it, but I haven't done it yet. But so within the membership settings, you can already set what's restricted. So this means these categories that are checked are all restricted so that you have to be a VM plan member in order to view that content. Okay, so if you're a non-member, then you're going to see the title and the excerpt for posts in these categories. Okay, so because this has already been set, and we were looking at this post, I'm not sure which category that's in. But that category is already, I have to go into that later. I don't know if it shows here or not. No. So that category is one of these that's been checked off already. Okay. And it may be, actually, it may just be the parent category of stories. Alright, you will probably need to work with these posts a little bit before you completely understand how the restrictions work, but it's pretty simple. So again, so since the category restriction is already set up within these membership plans, you don't need to check mark the boxes for the plans that have an asterisk next to them. Now let's say maybe this VM plan, that's a free plan. Maybe you want this one to show for the free plan. So, okay, cool. So we'll do that. We'll publish. And what you should see is if you close this guy. If you were to log out of the site and then go take a look at this post, then you should see the entire post and not just the excerpt. let's see if it's on the, first of all, it should show up. Since it's the newest post, it should, yeah, okay, so here it is, right? Now I'm logged in right now, so obviously it's going to show if I go to read more. Obviously I'm going to see that. Okay, but I'm on the free plan. So I'm going to log out. Oh, no problem. Yeah, we're in maintenance mode, so I can't do that. I have to log back in. So I'm going to turn off maintenance mode for a second. Maintenance. Oh, off. Maintenance off. Okay, and let's log out. Maintenance mode is on. What? Maintenance mode is on. Okay. Not updated for some reason. Okay, maintenance. Get it. Maintenance off. I think we got it up. Yeah. Always important to save changes. Let's close this stupid banner. These banners, you can just close them. Save changes. Yeah. Log out. Okay, so like I was saying, the free plan, you're usually just going to see an excerpt, but it's really up to you because you could go into individual posts and you could set permissions however you want to. It really depends on how detailed you want to go with stuff. But oh, okay, it is not showing it. Why? Aha, okay. I think I know why. It's because that category is restricted. Okay, well, I guess I gotta go back to the other. But I'm noticing an issue that we're gonna have to deal with. For some reason, the verse formatting is lost when a non-member is viewing a post. This is weird. So here's, I don't know if this is a bug or what, but obviously you can see, and it might have something to do with it. It's displaying an excerpt rather than the actual post. So I'm going to have to check with the developer on this. Oh man, okay, we're at 40 minutes now. Hopefully you're still awake. Let me go back through, well, so let me go back to memberships, because I think, let's see. Oh, so I gotta go back. I gotta go back and log in now. Let's go back in memberships. Hopefully this doesn't get too confusing. Let's look at our plan. So again, this is a free plan, no payment, 90 days. So this is showing categories. Just check mark that to see if maybe I would do something. Just wanted to see if there was a way, because by default, since it's restricted, and it's not showing, it's not going to display the entire post. I was just trying to find out where the settings are. See what happens. I'm going to log out again. And see if it changed. Since I selected stories as, oh no, it still didn't do it. Okay, I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. And make a note on that. I'm going to take a minute now, or I'm going to make another segment video, and I'm going to talk about why this link is named as stories. You're asking for that to be changed to sections, which I can change that, but I'll get into that in the next video, which will be, I'm going to name that stories versus sections. Okay. I think I've gone over enough with working on the post and using the verse blocks. Remember how to change those. You probably want to go and do another one. Also, how you can add images, and come over here to your page settings, set your post, your structure, and let's see, design, we didn't really get into anything there. I don't think we need to deal with that right now. But there were quite a few things, so you can check that out. Again, look for another video labeled stories versus sections.